Hey everybody. Oh man, the list is so long, and every time I get one thing done I add about 3 or 4 more things. So it is officially the season of overwhelm. I was just in the garden kind of weeding the beds I'd already planted, putting down some of that, they say it's organic, I don't know really if it is, the slug stuff, because my slugs are starting to get the brassicas. I'm going to crush up some eggshells and put that around too, but I don't really do too much pest control in the garden. And then this year I really wanted to grow 3 sisters, which sounds great in theory, but I wanted to do it in the downstairs garden. And that means we have to prep that garden, and just because of sheer neglect, I have no other excuse, that garden is completely overcome. So Brian sowed in there, I think like oats or winter wheat. And then it grew really tall and there's weeds and you know how it goes. So that noise you can hear right now is Brian with a 7-foot rototiller borrowed from a friend of ours, tilling that garden, which for me is not ideal, but it is a necessary evil at this point because there's no way, there's no amount of cardboard. And I don't want to use weed fabric, so we're going to rototill it. And we've rototilled that garden for nearly ever now, just because there's only 2 of us, really one of us that is like a full-time, I would say, in the summer gardener, and that's me. And there's no way I can manage weeds in all of these beds. I have a hard enough time just with my garden here. So I'm going to take you down and show you what Brian's up to. I had planted raspberry canes and they are just taking off. Like, I have a hard time with raspberries. I don't know, like my friends have all these beautiful raspberry bushes and I'm like, I struggle to keep them alive, and it's really good soil down there. So I don't know what the secret is, but still learning, I guess. So we're just leaving the raspberries down there. Brian dug up the asparagus because I watched Tilly eat it right down to the soil level the other day. So Brian built, let me show you because it's pretty awesome. Brian got some asparagus crowns from a friend this spring, and we had been talking about kind of bringing the asparagus up closer to the house. So he started a little asparagus bed here at the end of the compost bay, so you can see one of them here, and then he transplanted all the ones from down below that he could find. You see Tilly looking, she's looking. So all of these are the ones that we had planted. This year would have been our year to harvest, but because of the dogs and maybe deer, we weren't able to. So hopefully this will take off. So we've removed everything from the downstairs garden except for the raspberries, and he's actually going to get out the little Toro, our little mini rototiller that usually doesn't see the light of day, and until up around the raspberries, in hopes that we can knock down the weeds, and then I'll mulch it. We have a real problem. The chickens have been getting in the garden, and these are Brian's carrots. Oh, he just planted them yesterday. Get out of here, you two. Out. Get out. Out. Oh, you guys, you're lucky he used this. Come on. Out, 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 out. Not. Come on. Nope, that way. There we go. Keep this. This is my chicken chaser rod. Oh no. Hopefully. So he put the boards on. So hopefully. Oh, you little turds. This is going to be a real problem. Ooh, I am on the struggle bus. Like full ride. Oh man. But it's after work. I was trying to figure something to do just to keep me going, so I felt accomplished. And of course, I always do this in the garden. I can always find something in the garden. Have to keep an eye on the dogs to keep them away from the wild turkey. But I just came in here and the family of bluebirds are in here. I think they've gone, but like one way down at the bottom on the sunflower stalk. They were all in here. There were five of them. So I think the adults and then 3 babies. And I've got a pair of robins in here right now. Yeah, anyways, it's just really nice. And yeah, I can always kind of find peace in the garden. It takes some time, but it happens. And the new chickens are out, getting out more and more. And my little gimpy turkey is, you can't even tell which one it was now. So that's great. I just need to do something to feel like I've done something. Sitting in front of a computer all day, for me, does not feel like I've done anything. And although I might have accomplished stuff, there's the bluebirds both on the sugar shed wood. I don't know if those are juveniles or not. I think the juveniles are still down over here somewhere. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, I can sit in a computer all day long and still feel like I've not done or accomplished anything. So I came out here last night and I got 3 beds ready to go. And I only have 2 more. Is that one? I don't know. I only have 2 more to go. One kind of large one and then another long skinny. So I'm going to get this ready to go. One of the ultimate best ideas when we built this garden was to leave the limbs on the cedar trees that we use as posts, because it provides so many perches for birds. You could sit here and just different bluebirds, robins, tree swallows. There's a little sparrow. I think that's a chipping sparrow. But it's awesome. Holy jeez, I'm so distracted. We have a ton of borage self-seeded in here, volunteer, that I have to get out. I promised myself I wouldn't let volunteer plants take over this year, so I'm going to prep these 2 beds. I have a garden plan, but I'm still really undecided about what is going where. So, I'm in a rut. I gotta dig myself out here. Okay. These all need to go in the ground. But there was threat of frost last night and tonight, so they're going to go back undercover for one more night. My kale and brassicas are being ravaged by slugs. So last night I crushed all my eggshells and I put little eggshell rings, and then I put sluggo, which is like an iron-based compound that comes in pellet form. This is what it looks like here, around the plants. And then the next pests that we'll be we're dealing with in here, I got to put the covers on because we'll have cabbage loopers here shortly. There's Brian's carrots, not up yet. But woo, we are eating greens, so spinach, butter crunch, and other colors of beautiful lettuce. I don't know, do you guys ever have those days? Phew, so grumpy. Okay, onions are doing well. They look good. And then I guess this is a success story. The garlic is up to my waist, so it is going gangbusters. This is Music, the variety, which is my fave. So I used to grow multiple different varieties, and now I just grow this. Yeah, because it's awesome. So these are the 2 beds I gotta do. I better stop talking about it and just start doing it. I feel like that's a good idea. I'm acclimating to the heat. I'm going to go in and change my shirt for a little bit of morning sun. It's only about 8:30 in the morning right now. And then I've got my dad's old shirt that I wear for sun protection, and I might have to change to my other hat. But we're going to get these plants in the ground. My map, I just realized is quite inaccurate. Not quite inaccurate, but I didn't stand out here and do the map, and so I missed a few things. So there's some things that I kind of forgot to plan for. So I'm just going to kind of roll with it and make changes kind of as I plant out and use up all the space. But yeah, it's a beauty day. So before I plant, I always water everything. I stopped yesterday because the slugs were eating my brassicas. I stopped yesterday at our garden center and I got some replacement broccoli and Brussels sprouts. Okay, so my strategy is always to plant midnight snack, which are these ones. These are like the black cherry tomatoes, somewhere close to the end of an aisle because I love them so much. So I'm probably going to put one on the end. And actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I don't really know where I'm going to put my cucumbers. Maybe over there with the onions, or maybe here. So I'm going to maybe plant away from this end with my tomatoes. But usually I have 2 or 3 beds of tomatoes. So let's just lay it out. That's what I do first. So, and I just, for the basil, I just pinched the leader off right here to encourage bushier. So I'm going to eat this. I'm going to keep it to eat just to encourage a bushier plant. If you have a root mass that looks like this, it's always best just to tease it out a little bit before you plant it. Well, it's not bad, but basil goes in at soil level, but tomatoes are a different story. I just pinch all the lower leaves off, and it stresses them out a little bit, that for sure. But then they get buried. I'm going to bury this way up to here, so it's going to lose some height here real quick. But bury them deep because they will develop roots all the way up the stem of the plant. Okay, so in this bed we have cantaloupe, honeydew, and zucchini. And somehow I managed this year not to start too many plants. I just started kind of a couple of each, so we'll see. And I really was good. I managed only to start 3 cucumber plants, which is out of character for me. So that's been really good. I'm gonna try and grow them up this lattice work. And then in this bed, this is a bigger bed. I've got butternut squash, a squash called Sweet Mama, which is like a cross between, it looks kind of like an acorn. It's got some orange on it. Anyways, it looked really cool and had a good review. And then 2 of my 4 watermelon seeds spreaded. So I've got 2 watermelon. They are a first for me. I'm pretty excited actually about the watermelons. So yeah. In the past, when I've started the garden, I've watered mostly by hand. But this year, Brian was super awesome and actually hooked me up a hand watering hose to the irrigation system, which is hooked up to our 10,000 liter water tank that collects water off the eaves trough of the shop. So it's awesome because I can hand water in all this stuff, and I'm going to give everything else a shot. A little bit late actually to be watering today, but I need to get these watered in before it gets too hot. I just woke up from an amazing siesta. I slept for 2 hours. Oh, and I'm still groggy. I'm still not awake, but I needed it. So I've got a couple things here. I've got my garden map book. You can see here. I've made very rudimentary maps. I do this every year. And the one that I made for this year, I've already ripped out because I can't figure out, I'm trying to make it. Hang on. I need to block the wind. I'm trying to make it inside, but I can't see what I've done. So I'm going to go out and actually make the map. And then I've got all these seeds. Now, I hardly have any room left in the garden. I have sweet potatoes that still have to go in and peppers. But I need to figure out. I need to plant some of this stuff. Mostly beans. Me and my beans. But here we go. And I also want to put the bunnies out. And I want to wood chip the paths. And cut the grass. And there's literally no time to do all that stuff. But whatever. My nap was really good. Naps are so good. If you are one of those people who are unable to nap, I'm sorry. But if you're one of those people who don't believe in them and you could nap, get with the program. So good for your body. There's all this science around naps and how long you should nap and blah, blah, blah. I nap as long as I need to, as long as my body will. It doesn't screw up my sleeping at night. I still go to bed at a reasonable hour. Okay, I've been in love with all the bluebirds today. First, let's make a map. Okay, carrots. I'm just going to call this a kale bed, although there's some garlic in it. And all this does is help me to rotate my crops just to make sure I'm not planting the same thing in the exact same bed. So I'm curious because I know I've planted tomatoes. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, bed 4. Yeah, I had tomatoes in there too last year. Dang. Okay, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I try not to double plant, but that's okay. I did lots of amending this year, so it is what it is. Okay, I got Trail of Tears beans. Definitely a yes. And they are also going to be my main bean, or one of the beans I'm going to use in the Three Sisters. Purple pole beans. More Trail of Tears. Can you tell I like those? I really like pole beans, so these are called Isabel, but I won't plant them. Borage. I had about an estimated 1 million volunteer borage plants that I have mostly weeded out of here. I left a few. Borage is a beautiful plant, has medicinal properties, amazing for pollinators, but last year I had so much of it and it kind of took over. I don't think this is going to happen this year. I'm probably not going to plant beets. I ordered them, but I'm probably not going to plant them, or I'm just going to squeak a few in because we really just eat them for pickled beets, and we still have a lot of those. This is one of those cool seed cards. I've planted a lot of these in my time, and I don't know that I've ever seen anything come up from them, but I'm going to try. Another flower card. This is one my friend Dan made on that flower card paper, so definitely, it's kind of sad to like plant a card, but still kind of neat. Three Sisters corn. Oh heavens to Betsy's. Oh, I got some dill seed. That has to go in. But look, I have the most incredible crop. All that. And over there, that's all cilantro. Oh gosh. Basically all the trellises are getting... I've only got those 3 cucumber plants, and if they die, it's okay. I also noticed this morning, here's my squirrel brain. I'm just looking straight ahead. One of our fruit trees is almost dead, which is a real heartbreaker because this is summer 4 or 5. So not sure what happened there. But anyways, yeah, let's get some of these seeds in the ground. And then I have all my cool beans from my friend Melissa. So I have to maybe find some room to pop a few of those in. We're going to move the cage that Brian did this morning. Might put the bunnies out. In this moment, that sounds more fun than planting seeds. This is why sometimes I can't get stuff done. Look at this though. Little baby apples. Gonna thin some of those, but oh my gosh, the gang is over there. Fancy, Whitey, Huey, one of the barred rocks. Eh? Look at the chickens over there with all the chickens. Like they're not intermingling, but okay, the garden is mostly in. I planted some zinnias just along the pathway. The bean seeds are in. I only planted purple potted and Cherokee Trail of Tears and Scarlet Runner. But I've also planted some marigold seeds, some nasturtium seeds. I have sweet potato slips yet to plant and the peppers, but I have to harden them off right now. So I'm going to try to get at least 1 or 2 rows wood chipped because I cannot leave them like this. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, got that path done. I have 3 to go. I'm not sure if I am going to come out after supper. I'm making sushi tonight, so it takes a little bit of time, so I have to go in and do that. And I'm not sure if I'll have enough time to come out after supper, but it's all coming together. You know, the list is always long, but it's such a good time of year to be outside working and just, you know, listening to the birds and watching the birds and just experiencing everything and really trying to, take it all in. If I don't feel like wood chipping after supper, I'm going to do some productive procrastination. I think that's what Anne of All Trades calls it, but I might cut the grass, at least getting something done, which doesn't require a lot of physical exertion, and I bebop to my music muffs while I go. But pretty excited for the growing season now that I see all the green in here. And I know I'm going to be dealing with pests here in a bit, but it's still fun and pretty rewarding. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great start to the gardening season, and we'll see you next time.